Gomala land granted to Mutts in Bengaluru. When you look at this, you may wonder what this is all about. That's why the South Indian is here. Let's explain. On the one hand, on Republic Day yesterday, families who were rendered homeless after the demolition of their homes in Kogilu layout held a Poor People's Republic Day, demonstrating and highlighting their continuing demand for rehabilitation and housing. And on the other hand, as it was reported in the Times of India and other publications, the Karnataka government decided to grant 255 crore worth of land in Bengaluru to 22 Dalit and OBC Mutts. The land granted is called Gomala in Kannada, which translates to government-owned protected pasture land, which is specifically designated for grazing village livestock. This decision was taken in early 2025 when seers from Dalit and backward classes had sought land from the Congress government in Karnataka. They wanted to run their philanthropic institutions in Bengaluru. Now, as part of the appeal, the President and General Secretary of the backward Dalit Mathadishwara Ukuta, Bengaluru, had sought land for 22 of their mutts in a lot of places like Ravutanahalli, Dasanapura of Bangalore North District. As a result, 34 acres and 9 guntas. Now, guntas is something which is how the land is, measured. It's, I think, 1/40th of an acre, if I am not wrong. That's what was decided, that it should be given to these 22 mutts. There is a lot of, lot of row and controversy over this, and because survey number 57, another parcel of 18 acres and 5 guntas of survey number 58 granted to the mutts. The granting of land has raised several objections, like I said, although let me add here, ladies and gentlemen, that the government can grant Gomala land using its discretion to those who are landless and disempowered. Landless and disempowered. Key departments in Karnataka like the Department of Finance and Law and Parliamentary Affairs are against the decision, as it says that it might attract legal scrutiny since Gomala land cannot be alienated or granted to private organizations. Now, Finance Department has also said about the land value. They say as per guidance value 1 crore per acre, while the same land, if converted but underdeveloped, was worth 1.8 crores. Let's debate. What is the brouhaha all about? Is it correct? Because I remember backward class and disempowered seers had met with Chief Minister Siddaramaiah back in the day and said that we want to start Gurukulas, so will you just give us some land? Satya Prakash is here with us, Vice Chairperson and Spokesperson for the KPCC, and Sandeep Aniruddhan, who is a civic activist. Let me also add here that we had asked the BJP, they declined. They said we are not going for this debate. So, I am making it very clear, it is not that I haven't invited them. Thank you so much, Sandeep. By many accounts, granting of this land, like I said, the government can use its discretion, but it is only for the landless and the disempowered. These mutts, apparently some of them have recently come up, and this is maybe not for philanthropic job also. Although Gurukul teaching, everything is for poor people, we know this in the south. What do you think of this? Look at the land cost, 255 crores. That's not a joke. Sandeep.
See, I'm not that worried about the cost of the land. I'm actually concerned more about the specific purposes lands can be issued for.
Right.
In a urban, semi-urban context, I would be extremely worried about. See, as everybody is aware, the entire Bangalore district, we've lost almost 97% of our green and blue cover, which means we've lost vegetation, we've lost. So, I think any Gomala land, which was traditionally Gomala land, should be committed on priority, or perhaps only for the purpose of regreening. We should only have parks or forests, preferably urban forests in these. We should recreate, because the ideal greenery index that is considered a worldwide standard is every city should have at least 30% green cover for it to be livable. We have only 2% to 3%, which is extremely shocking, and it's a very bad situation. And a larger issue also worries me. I don't know why. I mean, it might be misinterpreted if I'm talking about it in this context. But why is everything in our country either religion or caste based? I really don't know.
That. On the South Indian, you are free to ask. We are free to ask any questions. Why? You may ask why. I mean, our constitution gives us the right.
We are 80 years past independence, and we are supposed to work towards
Yeah.
an
You know,
egalitarian society where
Sandeep,
we
if you
should
look
not
at
be.
it, yeah, if you look at the finance of it, rupees 1 crore an acre, if it is developed, it will be 4.8 crore per acre. Let's ask Satyaji. Satyaji, it's okay because it's your discretion to give Gomala. In Tamil, it's called Porambokku land, you know, which is wasteland. You know, the thing is that you can give it if you want, but for the landless and the disempowered. To give it to
If
backward.
I'm not mistaken, Purambok is wasteland. In Karnataka also you have wastelands which are separate from
But this is for
grazing
grazing.
land.
Yeah, I know. This is
These are
pastures.
grazing land.
Yeah, grazing
Yeah.
lands. Satyaji, you know, please come in here. I mean, many people will say this is just to satisfy the OBC and the backward seers because they had met Siddaramaiah a couple of in 2025 and said, please give us some land for our philanthropic, purposes and also to start a Gurukula. For instance, I think it was in some place where they said we want to start a Gurukula. Please come in and weigh in on this because your own finance department has said there are legal problems, Satyaji.
Karnataka is land of Basvanna. Ellargu samapalu, ellargu samabalu.
Yes.
OBC and SC STs constitute to nearly 35 plus another 25, 65% of the total population. And look at their stature. Their socio-economic condition is very bad. As you know, in Karnataka, if you see which are the communities which have got empowered, those communities like Lingaites, the upper caste Jains, the upper caste Vokkaligas, they got lot of education, they got social empowerment, they got educational empowerment because their mutts were empowered. They got education at least 3 to 4 generations before us. If you look at the Brahmins, their mutts, you know, all the mutts of the Udupi mutt and all other mutts, they gave education to their clan, say around 3 or 4 generations before OBC and SC. The conditions of OBC and Dalits in this state is very, very bad. And every mutt has a responsibility towards their community. Don't forget the total OBC number of castes are somewhere around 300 to 400 castes. SC and ST, there are around 80 to 100 castes.
I'm
So
all
this
for
parchment of
Satya.
this
I'm
part-
all
I
for
will-
affirmative action to empower those who are OBCs, who are SC, ST. There are no two ways about it, Satya Prakash ji. My whole point is you give away land which is going to cost 225 crores. For what purpose, sir? These are grazing land.
I was going next to that only.
Please.
If you divide that 19 acres or 40 acres by so many communities, how many mutts are there of OBC, do you know? There are at least around 18 to 20 mutts. Of SC and ST, there are around another 8 to 10 mutts.
What do these mutts do, Satyaji?
They give education, they do hostels. For example, lot of our community from our Kuruba community for which I belong, poor students hostels these mutts build. ITI, these vocational training. See, I'll give a small example. You show me one OBC mutt in this state or one SC ST mutt in this state which owns an engineering college or a medical college. Now you look at the Jains, SDMS, Manjunatha Swami.
Yeah.
They have so many engineering colleges, so many medical colleges.
Yeah, sure.
Look at other mutts.
Yeah.
Look at
But
Vokkaligas.
Sandeep
Look at
Anirudhan, that's
Lingaites.
what my problem is, that when the constitution gives you reservation and gives you reservation to bring all these wonderful people at par, as it were, they are superior, I would think. But to help them come up, then why is it these mutts also have to give them education, engineering college, etc. I am not going to stand for any community here, whether it's 1A, B, C, D, no. 225 crores of grazing land. So isn't it right, Sandeep? Because if my kid is getting reservation because of his caste, then why do I have to send him to a Gurukula or a mutt? Sandeep Anirudhan.
What troubles me is after 80 years of independence, why a lot of communities are backward, why they are identified with
No, but
their,
these are grazing land also. No, look at the greenery that will be lost completely. You are going to now, build buildings here. Sandeepan.
No,
Sandeep.
Which is my primary concern. I said grazing land should only be committed towards forestry or afforestation. That would be my request
Okay,
of the
Satya.
government.
Satya.
Now,
go ahead.
but apart from that, what it's raising is now if Mr. Satya Prakash's concerns are perhaps genuine, that certain communities are really backward, they still haven't been able to come up to equality, then that's a serious concern. How are we fulfilling the constitutional mandate? In the sense, This is actually a larger concern. I really sometimes wonder why in our country we are still identified with our caste names, religion names. Why are we made aware and conscious
That's
of our
another,
caste and religion
sure.
at every turning point? I mean, anything. When are we going to, acknowledge all of
Never.
us as
I'll tell you
individuals
what,
and
never.
not
As
a
an
caste
elder,
or
let me tell
religion?
you, never. Never. But
Can I
Satya,
intervene?
Satya, 1 minute. Satya, I have a question. When your own departments, revenue department, legal department, finance department, they are all saying that there are a lot of legal issues in this, why do you have to do it? You are saying our government
See,
always follows rules. Why are you breaking
Yeah.
all these rules here? Because of the vote bank. That's what some experts are saying.
No vote bank or anything, I'll tell you. Finance department's job is to tell what is the financial implication for the state. Now, when it comes to revenue and other things, they are more concerned about the land. We should use this land for government purposes or for public use. But the point I am asking is, even these communities belong to the public. They constitute to more than 65-75% of the total population. And they also have a right. What happens is, these impoverished communities, when they don't have community educational institutes of their own, they will be at the receiving end. Whenever our children go and ask, seat in a Wakaliga medical college, they say, we have to provide seats for our own community. We go to a Muslim institution, they say we have to give to our minorities. We go to a Brahmin institution, they say our first preference will be for our own. So when they have institutions for their own, we also have a right to have institutions of our own. Ultimately, these institutions don't belong to any private persons. Even if the Mutts get this land, how much will they get? They will get 20 to 30 kuntas, or some bigger communities might get 1 acre.
It is barred to give this land to private institutions. It is there. You read the law. Of course there is. You can
There I will give you hundreds of examples.
Right.
I will give you hundreds
No,
of
don't.
examples.
We don't have the time. I have only 1 minute left. So I am asking you, Satya. It is very clear. Tell me one thing. Did the seers of backward community and OBCs meet Siddaramaiah last year and said we are impoverished?
Yeah, the social backward report itself says that most of the SC, ST and OBC are impoverished.
But are you saying that there is no political motive behind giving this land away? You can give this land to those children who are not, who need to be empowered, who are like, You
tell me, other than OBC, SC, ST, which other children have to be empowered in this state?
Really? You must be kidding me.
They are at the bottom of the pyramid. Who else are there, you tell me?
So fine.
And even for other communities also.
So Siddaramaiah has done it for his own Kuruba, which is, backward, like you yourself said. He's done it for his own community in the fight between Wakaliga and OBC, these two camps in Karnataka government. God, Siddaramaiah has done it. I am saying, if it is not allowed and it's being said by the finance and the revenue departments, then there are lots of issues which need their red flags.
I can give you hundreds of instances where Gomala land has been given to upper caste Mutts, upper caste institutions, for RSS institutions, for Sangh institutions, for Brahmin institutions. So why should we not give it to Dalits and OBC?
So I've completely run out of time. Satya Prakashji, thank you very much. And Sandeep Aniruddhan, pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you very much.